Alright, Darkhorn is at 111. So I might just stand out here. Actually, I'm gonna try and stand over here and maybe have it spawn on this side and then try and go over there when it spawns. I wish there was something I could fight for the next 20 seconds. Actually, maybe I'll try fighting some of these reborns. Or just kill them since I still have like over 20 seconds probably. Alright. And I will try to get it stuck over here so I can go kill that while it's alive. Doesn't always work that way. Sometimes it spawns like over here and then it doesn't even attack you. And then you have to sit here for the full minute. Alright, so I got the experience gain still. I got about 2% so far, or 2.5%. And it's been about half an hour. Oh hey, look at that. Just use some potions, might as well. So yeah, not as much experience as I kind of thought I would be getting. I think last time, like I said, I got around 7% total. It would be better probably if my partner was here because I wouldn't have to rest as much and I'd be able to heal a lot more and do a tiny bit more damage. I don't think it does much of any damage. But if you want to see the resistance on my partner, it's this one. So the resistances, as you can see, are not terrible. Like, they're not very good, but still not terrible. I feel like it should be somewhat tanky, but I think the specialist card in general and the partner itself is just doesn't have very much health overall. So that's pretty much the problem, I think. I was considering switching to like a Ragnar or something because I think those can heal. But that involves either buying one with an S skill or going through the process of trying to get one, then level it, then redo the skill when it's not an S. And it can be a pain to do that, so I don't know if I want to go through all of that trouble. I just feel like it would be a little bit tankier and maybe more helpful. And I think the buff actually, I might be wrong about this, but I feel like it gives you attack power or something too. Like something other than just health. I'm actually going to use my ultimate here just to try and kill this a little faster. I'm just going to use some of these strong cider because I don't care about them and it's taking up an inventory space. And I got them for free from the daily bazaar or Nostale reward. So yeah, pretty pointless in trying to keep that stuff around. I think some people just delete them, and I think I have in some cases, but it's nice to have if you are in a place like this where it's not an emergency, like life or death that you need to heal. But you do need to regain health, and you can't be bothered to waste the time sitting around resting. Alright, so it's been still about 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more, and I'm at 3% gain now. Maybe a little over 3%, so maybe now that I'm getting back into it and doing things a little quicker, maybe I'm starting to get better and faster. And I think I'm about to die here, just saying. I don't know about die, but my pet might die. And I think Darkhorn is going to spawn on me. Again, using potions, I don't care too much. Like, they're just sitting in my inventory anyway, and they've been sitting there since before I quit the game, so yeah, there's pretty much no downside of using them all up. I can always buy more if I need to. Yeah, Darkhorn is definitely going to spawn at some point soon. I think, yeah, right now. How much damage did he take? What? I died? Yikes. Alright, I'm gonna have to stop after that. Take my time. Catch my breath. Heal up a little bit. Or heal my partner, really. I will need my buffs at some point. This attack power is, like, I say it's not a big deal on my pet because it's not, but on me, it's kind of a bigger problem. And I lost these as well. That's one of the downsides about these experience potions is they actually, you lose them if you die. Same for the attack and defense. Alright, let's use these up again. Hope I don't... Okay. I was gonna say, I hope I don't aggro that fire drake. And in some cases, some strange cases, I've seen things like when you kill things, you don't always get the experience from it in Land of Death. I believe that used to be the case sometimes if you would use Elemental Leech on drakes. I don't know if that's still the case. I don't know if that was ever real, but I feel like I've tested something like that and it did work. Like, it did stop me from getting experience. So, I don't know about that, and I don't know if, I was also thinking maybe if you leave if you start fighting something and then you leave and come back, I don't know if it still gives you the experience. I mean, it should, but things that should happen are not always the things that do happen. Okay, here we go. So I got my attack power back, basically back to the way it was. I think I got all my buffs back. And here's another thing that happens sometimes. Not always, but basically some families sometimes get this experience boost, and it's 20% for those specific family members, and it's 10% for every other person, which may not seem like a lot, but you know, when you're adding it to this 100% and this other 20% that I'm getting from the experience potion, it's not bad. I'm not really sure what to do here, to be honest. Kind of got caught off guard by the things spawning. I just used a full potion there. I don't know if it was absolutely necessary, but I felt like maybe I should, and I did get the experience from that, so that's good. I felt like maybe I should try and save my pet there, just so it kept the buffs. So another thing I tried one time, I think, and I don't know how it went, I think it was a little more difficult, was I brought my Holy Mage here with me, and I had it sitting there, and sometimes Darkhorn would spawn on it, and sometimes it would die, and then I would have to go and save it, and it wasn't too bad. Like, I think it was doable. I think I could do it again if I wanted to, but I'm not sure if that's worth it. Like, this might be better if only I had my partner here. Yeah, I feel like if my partner was here, this would have been much better. And another problem, this is why my partner is so good, because it can heal significant amounts of health very quickly, because it goes by a percentage of health instead of a number. My pet has 36,000 health, so it actually has a buff that goes off of a percentage amount of health and heals a percentage, but it's not nearly as high as my partner. So that kind of sucks. But oh well, not too bad. Yeah, and you might ask how I got a level 87 otter when I'm level 87. Well, you can have pets the same level as you. The only issue is getting them to that level. You can only use the special kind of pet food to get them up to 5 levels below you. So I believe it would be 82, which is the level of my other pet. And the way I got this was it was actually in a pet bead in the Nostale bazaar, and I asked the guy if I could buy it for cheaper than what he had it listed for, and he said yes. And then I asked him a little bit too low, and I kind of felt bad, and he complained about it, so I just agreed to pay him the second amount that I asked him for, or the second amount that he told me. But yeah, that's a good tip for if you're buying expensive things in the Nostale bazaar, or even if they're not very expensive. Sometimes people will just lower their price if you ask them to. But especially for big items like the otter, like it was 85 mil, I think, and I asked for, I think I asked for 75 or something, which was kind of low. And then I asked, or he said 80, and I said 78 or something, and then he started complaining about it, so I just said, yeah, I'll do the 80. But yeah, I was trying to calculate. I could have. You also have to think about the level 1s were 80 mil priced in the bazaar, so I could have probably gotten one of those for about 75 mil and then used the pet food to level it up, but I was calculating how much that would cost me, and it was actually a good bit, so I think it would have been more that way, and I could have only leveled it up to 82 instead of 87. So generally it worked out for the best. Alright. Yeah, that was a pretty good tip that I think not a lot of people use. Like, they might see an otter in the bazaar for 80 mil and say, oh, it's 80 mil. But a lot of times you can get it for 75 or even less if you just ask. Okay, this giant knight is not going to die anytime soon, so I will just run for a minute and hide and then come back. I was kind of surprised at how slowly it was dying. I don't think there's any other effects that I could use. Did I not drink a defense potion? I don't think I did. Yeah, the bad thing about the Star Tarot card is it doesn't give any other bonuses well, it gives 1 movement speed and 15% XP, so not very good overall, just useful in specific situations like this where I'm trying to get as much XP as possible. And I believe there are probably other ways of increasing experience that I don't know about yet. Like, I know there are tattoos, and I don't know what those are exactly. And I think there's another way that you could upgrade your weapons, but I don't know if those are sea-level equipment only, or if that applies to normal weapons as well. But if any of you guys know that, let me know. I don't know much about the tattoo system since that's kind of newer. I think that might have came with Act 7 or around that time. And that's about the time that I left, and I also wasn't high enough level to do the stuff anyway, so I wasn't able to see that content. Alright, so Darkhorn is probably at 95, I think. So I'll try and get over here and maybe do what I did before. If I could pick that up. Clear out some of this stuff and then maybe move over here for Darkhorn and then come back. I usually try and go for the Reborns first because they can blind me. So they're kind of more of a threat to me than the Drakes are. Even though I think the Drakes probably do more damage since I have pretty high resistance. But yeah, pretty much I do Reborns and then Drakes and then the Knights. Well, Fire Drakes first and then the Knights. I think that's the exact opposite of what you do in a group. You generally focus the stronger monsters and then eventually take out the smaller ones. Ugh. I hate this effect. I'm pretty sure I do have a mask that will get rid of that, or not get rid of it, but give a certain percentage of resistance against it. So there's a % chance that I don't get it. But I think it's actually in my partner's storage, so that's unfortunate, unless it's in my pet storage. And I also use the, I think that would cover up or get rid of my hippo hat, which is pretty useful as well. I think these actually can give you blackout. So it's pretty much either you protect against the binding effect or protect against blackout. And bind is annoying, but blackout will actually kill me. So pretty easy choice for me.